How many times can we say mate? Mate?
Mate,
Mate?
mate.
I mate. Um, oh God, that was gay. Welcome to Shadow Daddy Groupies. I'm Raven.
And I'm Kelly. And today we are going to talk about Mate by Ali Hazelwood. So this was my book suggestion. Uh, and without further ado, we're going to go over our 2 minute, no spoiler summary. Uh, Mate is Ali Hazelwood's newest paranormal romance featuring Serena, a were-human hybrid, and her rejected mate, Cohen, the werewolf alpha of the Pacific Northwest. After a mate bond snaps into place for Cohen at their first meeting, Serena and Cohen agree, albeit for different reasons, that neither are interested in pursuing the bonds. But after Serena begins experiencing some health issues and receives devastating news, combined with some vampires' desire to hunt her down and study and control her, Serena runs off to the Pacific Northwest for some peace. Unfortunately for Cohen, he cannot let his alpha tendencies and responsibilities overrule his desires, which range from wanting to punt Serena back to her home in the Southwest and protect her from bounty hunters, and do other forbidden things that risk his alpha position in his pack. This book is multi-layered with all things how Ali Hazelwood is known for: banter, spice, grumpy brooding MMCs, and snarky FMCs. If you like werewolf romance, this one is one of the best I have read.
I agree. I can attest to that. It was actually really good. I could not put it down. It's like
Okay,
I
trigger warnings.
I have her. I bought the book too, so it sits here, just here on the
Just
shelf.
here on the shelf.
Yeah. I loved it. Oh, trigger warning. Sorry. Okay, violence and death, kidnapping, suicide references, threat of sexual assault, cults, brainwashing, drugging, infertility and pregnancy themes, explicit sexual content, Omega-verse elements.
What is an Omega verse?
I don't know, but they put in uh uh
Okay, because I recently saw a description for a story book that I was maybe going to read, and it also had an Omega verse reference, and I was like, "What the heck is an Omega verse?" So now I'm going to have to go look that up right now.
maybe because I've heard the term before. Maybe it's like monster smut. I mean, not. Because they put it in parentheses by explicit sexual content.
Okay, you want to hear what it is?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, it's a subgenre of speculative erotic fiction and fan fiction based on rigid dominance hierarchies, alpha, beta, omegas, inspired by wolf pack theories. It focuses on biological imperative tropes, including heats, scenting, nodding,
Oh, I can't wait to get to that one.
blah, blah, blah. Okay, so this is actually, I think, only my second book that I've ever read where there was some sort of nodding going, well, okay, third, I guess, because I also read Bride by Ali
Oh yeah.
Hazelwood. So let's clarify that this book is like the sequel to Bride, but it's kind of, they're both more like standalones. You don't have to read Bride in order to read Mate. And I did like Bride, but I actually liked
Yeah.
Mate a lot better. So if you didn't like Bride, I still would read Mate. And if you have no interest in Bride, I would still read Mate.
Yeah. That's how I was. I didn't really care for Bride as much. And then this one, I was like, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Please.
Yeah, I know. I kind of had to like nudge you a little bit to read it because like you
Bride,
did mention that Bride wasn't your favorite, but
Bride
I have.
was just not my type.
Is it because of vampires? Are you not into vampires?
It's just not my type.
Are you trying to make a funny reference?
I was, but it flew right over you.
Well, okay, there is nodding in Bride.
Yes, I know. But not as much and not the focal point. And
Okay,
I
fair enough.
picturing it was painful. It's,
A little bit.
uh, yeah.
Okay. Do you want to just jump right into the nodding?
Okay, yeah. I have always been so I don't know. It's not a trope I like, but it might be now.
Okay, I do agree that it like didn't really hit for me the first time or two I read about it, but this book was a little bit different. And I don't know if this is the same for you, but I feel like the reason I didn't or that I liked it better this time around was the idea that he was forced to sit there and talk to her. They were like, you can't move. You just have to sit there and talk to one another. Like I was like, oh, okay, I kind of like this. You can't go anywhere. I can't shove you away. It's not like, you're done. You're like, all right, now you gotta just like
You're
sit here and wait.
mm, mm, mm. And he was definitely letting it loose in there. I mean, my goodness, the explanation for the climax was just, I was like, whew, filled up. It was the visual was there.
There was a lot of
It was
visual. There's a
very
lot of
stuffing.
explanation.
It
Yeah,
was very
yeah.
stuffy in there.
I feel like one thing about Allie Hazelwood is every one of her main male characters is huge, huge, and Cohen was huge.
I know, and it was my kind of like ratio because she was really small, so I loved it. I was like, yes. I don't care when women are big because I'm small. And I know you said you like tall women because you've always wanted to be tall and
Yeah, it's my
mm.
preference. I don't know.
Any
Um,
anyhow,
I've been.
the
Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I've been on an Allie Hazelwood kick lately. I read like a ton of her books last month, and so that's one of the reasons that I wanted to do this one. But out of all of the ones that she's written, I do really like her contemporary. So I don't know if she's done a lot of paranormal. I think just these two, right? And then she's mostly just does contemporary
From the books I have and the books I've seen written by her, I've only seen these two.
for paranormal.
But she should make more.
Yeah, anyway, I like her style. She writes a good snarky FMC. A lot of her MMCs are super grubby and broody, and I feel like that's totally your style.
I was
Cohen
about to
is
say I loved
super
it.
grubby
I
and
loved it.
and
He's
an asshole. She knows how to write an asshole, is what I'm basically what I'm getting to.
It sounded like you just said she knows how to ride an asshole.
Maybe.
I mean, he couldn't do anything for the longest time. I like that. I like the pressure. I like the edging. Oh my God, that was amazing. The edging was great. And then he was just like, fuck it. Fuck it.
Yeah, it was definitely like a fuck it moment. Okay, also, I think I said to you that I definitely found some tropes that I didn't know I was into, and besides the nodding, I was really into this whole like she's in heat thing and he has to take care of her. I was
Oh,
like,
me
I'm actually
too.
really into that.
Me too. I was like, oh man. And the only way it's gonna get better. And then I was like baffled, but also still kind of like enjoying the fact that someone else could step in for him and take care of the job, but they
Mhm.
didn't. And I was like, oh wow, what great. A willing
So
participant.
we um we kind of skipped over one of like the major plot twists, which is at the beginning of the book, she thinks she's dying. And she basically just goes to like hide in the woods and die by herself. And ends up she's not dying. She just really needs to have sex.
The whole time. That is it. And I'm kind of I mean, realistically
I,
unrealistic. I'm surprised they
it's a
didn't.
it's a paranormal romance. It's supposed to be unrealistic.
I
But
know.
I actually didn't see that coming. I was like, I thought she was really dying. And I was
I
like,
thought
man, this poor guy.
I thought of it. That was what I
You did.
thought. Yeah. But the thing that I didn't notice was when she was like kept taking his shirts and his blankets and his stuff and nesting and oh, it's so cute.
So I saw that coming. I thought pretty quickly that she was probably his mate too. This idea of like you can be a mate, someone could be your mate, but they could be not your mate was really odd to me. And so I was like, there's no way. She has to be his mate. And then when she kept like stealing his shit, I was like, she absolutely
She
is
was in
his mate.
heat. She was in heat. Come on now. We do a lot
No,
of
but
crazy things when that comes around.
I don't know. They had a connection that I was like, no, there's no way that he is not her mate. I wasn't willing to believe they weren't like,
I didn't get the impression that the mate could be someone else's mate. I was under the impression that they could reject the mate and then they could go and be,
oh,
yeah.
this maybe it's because read you hadn't read Bride as recently as I did, but in Bride they talk about that very, very specifically that in werewolf culture, like werewolf A could be the mate of werewolf B, but B's mate could be somebody else's, could be
Yeah.
C. So it's like it's which doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but apparently like you can be mated here, but they could be mated to somebody else.
And so it's
And
like
so
having,
that's what they were trying to imply at the very, very beginning. When Cohen walked in and he was like, "Oh my God, that's my mate," and she didn't have the same reaction right away. And so the idea was like, oh, her mate is somebody completely different, or she doesn't have one because she's not a full werewolf. And
that
so
makes it so much better now that I know. I don't remember Bride, so I definitely, that
yeah,
makes,
so there was like this thing that like, oh, she was his mate, but she's like, you're not my mate, I'm gonna reject you, which made his life easier because he wasn't supposed to like accept any mate bond because he had this responsibility to not have a partner. He's supposed to be celibate, right? Which also is kind of hot.
oh man, definitely, it definitely was one of the extremes of tropes that I don't like, but I loved it.
Yeah, it was like there's something different about being like a virgin versus being celibate to me. It was like it is like it's a different feeling of like
Like,
I don't know.
you
You're
know,
like, but you're choosing not to. But then there's this person that's so whatever that you just like break your celibacy. I don't know. That was kind of hot.
hmm
And then he was gonna leave his pack for her. He's like, "What do you mean? You love me. You told me you love me. I'm gonna give it all up for you." And she's like, "Don't do it. Don't do it." And he's like, "I can't not do it." And I was like, "Dude, don't do it."
she kind of got on my nerves and she kept leaving. She's like, I'm leaving, I'm leaving, I'm leaving, I'm leaving, I'm leaving. No, no, ho, no, you ain't. No, no, no. No,
All
mm-mm.
right.
No, you ain't going nowhere. Nada. And whenever
I
they were like
also
saying
go
bye
ahead.
at the car before this plan that she came up with,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, you'll be back.
She'll be back. You can't stay away, ho. Okay, you know what I was thinking in my head? I was like, okay, a heat doesn't just happen once in a lifetime. I mean, if we're talking about canines, canines have a heat once or twice a year. So I was like, so they're gonna do it once and never see each other again, but she's gonna have another heat. So what's gonna happen? Are they just gonna? So in my head, I thought the story was gonna work how like every year they get together for her heat, and that's like the only time they see each other. And then over the course of years and years, they realize they can't live without one another. That's what I thought was gonna happen in the story. Is they were just gonna be these like star-crossed lovers that can only meet once a year when she's having
Mm.
her heat.
Yeah. No, I thought about that too. I was like, well, what do you do the rest of the time? I mean, because human ween ain't gonna be anything good. A human wiener.
After that, yeah. She even says that. She's like, every other boyfriend before him has now faded into gray existence. No one is ever going to live up to this again. This is the hottest thing that's ever happened in my entire life. She like literally says that.
Oh man. I like the one thing that was crazy was the lady that was like her aunt and
I know, what a psychopath.
her dad ended up being that guy Constance or whatever his name.
Constantine. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the whole like cult thing was kind of an interesting twist
It
and also
was.
way to be like an enemies to lovers because he her dad killed his parents and then he turned around
And
and
killed.
killed her parents and you're like, man, this is a lot of like drama. How are they going to overcome this? And they're like,
Fuck
and
it
they
out.
basically just were like, nah, whatever.
Just screw it out.
They got over it so fast. They like got back and they're like, meh, whatever, let's bang.
Um, I thought the house part that was really interesting. I was like, for some reason, I was kind of like enjoying like the held hostage and um. Never mind. I'm not gonna say anything on here. It
Okay.
no, it just it sounds weird. I mean, like how they were like, you're gonna get through your heat with one of these men. And I was
Oh,
like, ooh, and then I knew that it wasn't gonna happen, but I like the threat of it happening, which makes me sound really bad. Okay.
okay. Well, now we have a spin-off story that Raven is going to write.
I mean, what happened in that house? Oh,
um, Raven has just come up with her
nothing.
next
Not,
story.
no, we're not putting anything in Raven's head right now. Raven's moving and
Raven's
grooving.
focusing on something else.
Moving and grooving.
Okay, so um, hold that, put a pin in that because when we're done recording, I have a comment about that. By the way,
Oh, you can't make your comment on here.
no, I can't because it has to do with the story that I'm writing,
Okay, understood.
and it's
Well,
not
I think you should go
not for
read
this.
Mate. I gave it a 5 star.
I really liked it. I think I gave it 4 or 4.5. The spice is 5 star. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna put that out there. If you want some good spice, I'm into this spice. Uh,
Also,
smutty
keep
smut
in
spice.
mind it's K9.
Oh yeah, she refers to it as an inflatable dick, and I really liked that.
I picture like a Foley catheter in the 10 cc balloon that blows up at the end.
Oh, by the way, one of the things I love about Allie Hazelwood's writing is because she has kind of she's like a professor in I think in a science field. Anyway, she has like a really interesting way of describing things. And I really like her descriptions. So, anyway, I'm a big fan of her writing style because of that.
It
Um,
the vibe was perfect. I vibed through that book so hard and it was great. It was
yeah. So
fantastic.
overall, yeah, I really like this book. I think I would rate it 5 star. I would read it again. I think I have read it again, actually. I think
You
I did
did.
read it
You
twice.
read it twice.
I did read it twice. So 5 stars for Kelly. I lied. Five.
Five. You read it twice, so definitely five
I read
star.
it twice. It's a 5 star.
We forget our own rating system from a year ago.
I did, right?
Uh,
Uh,
well,
but
definitely go read the
definitely read
book.
it for the vibe for sure. It's not
Just
it is
vibe with
it's
it.
a good vibe book for sure.
Keep your mind open to the
If
possibilities.
you need a mind in the gutter, this is a put your mind in the gutter book.
I have never wanted to go. run outside naked more than I did reading this book.
Funny.
Look at me. I'll take just running,
Oh,
but
also,
still.
there's an age gap in here. I don't remember what the age gap it is, but they're like
He was
12
30.
years.
Yeah, something like that. She was
Yeah.
He was 38, she was 25, so no, it wasn't 12 years.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. I thought it was strange though because she was a kid, but she also was a little bit older, so she wasn't exactly a kid. I did the math in my head. Don't stress yourself out about it. It
She's
became
definitely
legal.
out of college.
It became legal after a long time of not knowing each other.
Oh, you're talking about their first meeting when she was like really
Hmm.
young? Yeah. I think
Spoiler.
he rescued her when she was like 5 or 6 years old.
Hmm.
And he was a teenager,
Yep.
like 16 or 18 or something like that.
15.
15.
Yeah, I know the numbers. The numbers are floating around. I was doing the math and I was like, "Ooh, is this right?" But not in like a bad way,
But they
just because
didn't
I
recognize each other as mates at that point.
no, she had some kind of stuff on her because they wanted to hide her scent since she was a halfling. Um, so she wasn't protruding the scent of being aware.
Interesting. I totally missed that.
Yeah, because I wanted to do the same thing, and I was like, why, how? And then if I would have just kept reading a little bit more, it explained it.
Got
Anyways,
it.
go
Got
read
it.
this book.
Go read the book.
Bye.
Bye.